Lesson 2 from Module 3, and we're talking about markups and markdowns, which is pretty much the same thing as our percent increase and percent decrease. Obviously, the markup is our percent increase because the price is going up, whereas markdown is the price going down, so that would be a decrease. So to fill in this vocabulary here, we have markup is the increase Alright, sorry about that. My brain froze. That is not increase. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. Alright, so is the amount of increase in a price, and then its opposite would be markdown, which is the amount of decrease in a price. So when we're talking about a markup, this is going to be the new price that you're going to pay. So when you own a business, what you do is you buy a product, and when you buy that product, the amount that you pay as the business owner is called the cost right here, which is the original amount. Sometimes you may hear it known as wholesale. And then what you do is to turn around and sell it, you have to mark up the price. And that marked up price is called the retail price. And it is the price an item is increased or marked up for after the company adds the markup. Okay, so this is the retail price, which is the new price. Okay. Alright, so moving on, there's a few things for you to point out right here. For example, the sale versus the sale price. The sale price is the discount, whereas the sale price is the verb of Walmart sells bananas. Academy sells kayaks, things like that. It's the actual action of selling the product, whereas a sale is actually a noun where it's like the discount. So there's actually two methods we can use in solving markup and markdowns. They're very similar. The first one is exactly like we did with percent increase and decrease. And then the second method is also very similar, same box. It's just where we add and subtract is different. So when we talk about a markup is an increase. And when we're increasing, my screen keeps moving on me, is adding. So here we have a music business that buys digital downloads, and then they turn around and resell them. And so they have bought a digital download for $5. That is their cost. That's the original price. And they have marked it up, which means they are increasing it by 30%. They want to know how much you're going to pay, the new price. So if the markup rate is 30% and the original cost is $5, we need to solve for what the new price is going to be. So like I said, there's two methods to this. The first method is just like treating this as a percent increase, because that's what's happening here is we have a percent and we do have a change going on. So we just set it up like our regular percent of change box, in which we have 30%, we have the original price of $5, and we cross multiply and divide, and we realize that the price is changing by $1.50. And so if we end up having, as the business, buy it for $5, we're marking it up $1.50, which means the customer is going to buy it for $6.50. So the retail price is $6.50. Because remember, this is the change box, and this is how much has it changed. Now, method 2 is similar. So we still have the same change over original, and our original amount hasn't changed. But this time, instead of changing the dollar amount, because that's what we're talking about is dollars, we can change the percent, because you notice that this column, oh no, I didn't mean to hit that part. I meant to hit the, who's-you-ma-call-it? Where's my undo button? Do I not have an undo button? Oh, there it is. Thought that was the highlighter for a second. See if I can get this highlighter. Okay. So, sorry. This right here, this column is, or that row, my bad, it's not a column, it's a row. That whole row represents change, while the bottom row right here all represents original price. Okay, so we can change, one of the ones in the change box has to change. So what if we look at changing the percent? So if you think about this, as the customer, you're going to pay the $5 plus the $1.50. So the $5 was 100% of the original cost. Okay, so you're going to pay not only 100% of the original cost, because it's a markup, you're also paying the extra 30%. So you're paying a total of 130% of the original box. You can still look at this. My goodness, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know why it keeps moving around tonight. Having all kinds of issues tonight. I'm sorry. We still look at this as an is and of box. Okay, 130% of the original $5 is what? So when we cross multiply and divide here, 5 times 130 divided by 100, we end up with X equaling $6.50. So we get the same answer using both methods. And so basically what we've done here is, in method 1, we saved our addition and subtraction to the end, whereas in method 2, we did it at the very beginning. So it's just, when are you going to want to remember to add in the change? So the reason method 2 works is explained here in part E. It says write a ratio of the retail price to the cost. So the retail price was $6.50 and the retail price was $5. Well, when you convert that to a percent, that's 130%. So what you're doing is you're paying 130% of the price. So the retail price is 130%, and we found that by doing, if you realize you take 100%, add in the percent markup, you get 130%. Doing the markdown is the same exact process, except markdown is a decrease, which means we end up subtracting. So this is a continuation of problem 1. We're still using the same music company, but this time it says after New Year's Day, the music enterprise discounts. So discounts means that the price is going down by 40%. What will be the new retail price after the markdown? So the original retail price that we found was $6.50. The markdown is the discount's going to be 40%. So to find the new price, we could do both methods. So I'm going to show you both methods again. So method 1 would be like the box we did yesterday. We have the change over the original. The original price was $6.50 and the percent is 40% off. So how much is coming off the original price? So when we cross multiply and we divide, we find out that X equals $2.60. But because this is a discount, this is how much is coming off the price. So if originally it was $6.50, we're going to take away $2.60 and we're going to be left with $3.90. Method 2 is going to give us the same answer, just a different way to get there. So I still need a percent box. change over original. My original is still $6.50. But instead of waiting to the end to take the difference off, we can actually take the difference off from the percent section. So if I originally am supposed to pay 100%, but I'm taking off 40%, that means only 60% is left. And that's what I'm paying. I'm only paying 60% of the 100%. So I'm going to cross multiply and divide, and when I do that, I get that X is $3.90, which is the exact same price that we got using method 1. So really you can choose whichever method you want, and you should still get the same answer. So we got another example here. It says Penelope buys bracelets in bulk at cost of $8 each and sells it at her store. She uses the markup of 125%. Markup's important, that means we're adding, which is added to the bracelet's cost. What is the retail price of the bracelet? So the rate that it's increasing is 125%. We want to know what the markup's going to be. So once again, you can pick your method. I'm going to move this over so I have some more room to work here. So you can either use method 1, like we've been using, or you can try method 2. So what I want you to do is I want you to solve this problem on your own and then come back and check to see if you got it correct. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to pause this video. I want you to solve it using one of the methods. It doesn't matter which method you use. And then check your answer, okay? So do that now. Alright, I'm going to zoom out so that you can see. I've shown you both methods depending on which one you chose. So method 1, we found that the overall change in price was $10. So we had to go in and we had to, because it's a markup, add that to the original cost. So originally the bracelet was $8. We added the amount of change, which was 10, giving us 18, so making the retail price for one bracelet $18. So we waited to the end to add. But over here in method 2, I went ahead and added at the very beginning, I added the percents together. I already know as a customer, I'm going to pay the $8, the base price, plus however much it's going, the percentage of increase. So I'm paying 100% plus 125%, and when you cross multiply and divide, you get the new price of $18, that the price changed to $18. Alright, here we have Penelope still, and now she's marking down the price of necklaces in her store from $25 to $22. They want us to find the rate, which is the percent here. So, once again, we can use both methods to find this answer. We need to make sure we're labeling our boxes. Ooh, sorry, I don't know why it did all that. Alright, so method 1. And then method 2. Same process. So the original, we need 100 here. So the original cost of the bracelets or necklace started at $25. We don't know the percent, that's what we're trying to find. So that means we know the change. So remember, the change is not the new price when we're talking about finding this right now. If we think about it, the change is how much money is coming off. And so we take $3 off. So when we cross multiply and divide, we end up with X equals 12%. So that's how much has come off. Now if I choose to do method 2, and I still don't know this, and I choose to do 25, and then it changed to 22, when I cross multiply and divide, I get that X equals 88%. Now this is not going to work for us because we're looking for the discounted price, whereas this is the price, this is the percentage we actually paid. So how much of it did we shave off? So if we started at 100%, we actually paid 88%, that gives us 12% that we actually shaved off the price. So once again, it goes back to when are you adding, when do you want to add or subtract? Do you want to do it at the beginning or do you want to do it at the end? Okay. So here's the deal. This is what I want you to do. I want you to do numbers 3, this number 3. And then what I want you to do is I want you to do those 2 practice problems. I want you to pause this video and then I want you to unpause it when you're done and check your answers. Okay? And then we'll be done. Alright, so these are the answers you should have gotten. So for number 3, you should have gotten $75 for the new cost of the baseball bat. Number 1, you should have gotten $87 after the discount. And number 2, you should have gotten 89 cents for the apples after the markup. Alright, so from here you need to go in and work on your homework and IXLs. And that's it.